Hey guys, All in Crypto here, and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, for another YouTube video. I hope you've all had an amazing weekend so far. Today we're going to be diving into Cardano. We're going to be issuing a warning in relation to the DeFi space that is up and coming. This was really prompted after Charles Hoskinson's video, dApps certification and community curation. We're going to play a clip from this where Charles is issuing a warning in relation to the dApps that are being built on top of Cardano, some do's and don'ts in what you should do in regards to investing, and of course this is really prompted by just how frequent DeFi scams and hacks are within the crypto space, and some things that you can look out for to perhaps prevent these things from happening to you. Certainly I am going to be investing heavily in Cardano's DeFi ecosystem. We've already given you some picks such as Paribus and a few others. But I know many of you guys that are following Cardano are going to be doing the same thing, and it's a real warning, certainly with the kind of FUD storm that Cardano is under, you know, that you've got to stay vigilant, and the FUD is only going to ramp up when this happens. And it's inevitable that it's going to happen, guys, because Cardano is a decentralized protocol that anybody can essentially build on. But what I want to do before I start the video and play the clip is really talk about where we are in relation to the market currently. Now, the market is continuing to sell off. I'm going to be giving you just two of many, but these are two that I personally watch. I watch the FTSE 100 because, of course, I am in the UK, and I know many people that invest in it. And I also watch oil because oil is what the crypto sniper calls anti-fiats. And anti-fiats work in sync in relation to fiat currency, and they all kind of sell up. They're in this kind of basket that all get affected by the same kind of metrics. And now that crypto is more of a mature market, it does indeed get affected. And this is the kind of structure, this triangle, this rising triangle, ascending triangle, is actually something that we pointed out nearly 2 weeks ago. This is a possible play. Can you see how you're kind of bouncing around in here? So you could still be on this. You are right at the bottom of it now. Tomorrow is going to be a very, very telling day for what direction market's going. This, of course, is Bitcoin. We'll jump into Cardano in just 1 second. Two things to watch. The FTSE 100. FTSE 100 saw the worst day I think it had since March 2020. Now, we know why markets as a whole sold off, and that was really due to the whole new variant worries and concerns, and this whole kind of narrative that things get shut down again, and people are going to hedge their bets against that. So that's why markets really sold off on a whole. We can see that the UK 100, the FTSE 100, had the worst day since March. Now, of course, remember, traditional stock markets do not open on weekends. So tomorrow, on the market open, across the board, and I'm going to give you a US one to kind of pay attention to as well. The direction of this, in my opinion, is going to be quite correlated with crypto. Of course, Bitcoin more so than altcoins, but Bitcoin is going to really drag the altcoins up or down. So if this starts to tank tomorrow, expect further continuation to the downside. Also, with crude oil took a huge hit. This is one we haven't looked at, but we've looked at a number of others in replacement of this. Oil took a really bad hit. I think it was the worst hit that it saw since March 2020, when everything kind of got shut down. So if these two markets open, or markets as a whole open tomorrow, and we see a further decline, expect this to be echoed over into the crypto space. We've done lots of videos, and I've made a video earlier than this one that's well worth a watch for those of you out there that are certainly getting into the investment realm, where we speak about, you know, how this cycle maybe plays out, that it's different, and there's different forces at work now, because crypto is a maturer market, and it's now kind of bridged over. Crypto for the last, well, since its inception, really, up until really recently, certainly March 2020 was a huge catalyst for this, existed in its own kind of realm. It's not there anymore, and it's kind of somewhat attached due to the fact that you see the same players in the traditional financial realm now in crypto. It's attached to the kind of broader financial scale, a broader financial system, I should say. I think it was Goldman Sachs or JP Morgan, one of them owns a lot of Bitcoin shares that they bought in Q3. They, of course, have to report this. So that's a real indication of that. So if tomorrow, and I'm going to make a little bit of a longer video on this after this one, just to kind of really reiterate it and kind of show you guys what to look out for. If tomorrow we see things like the FTSE, the oil really start to sell off significantly, it's a good indication that we're going to roll again. But we are currently holding, we're doing essentially what we did, this pullback here. We're kind of rinsing and repeating it, and we're finding some sort of support around about the 0.5 in the same way that we did over here. Also brings you on to this ascending support, which we've held so far, and we did nearly 2 weeks ago now actually lay this out for you. So what I'm going to do now is I am going to very quickly play the clip of Charles talking about these things, some of the things that you need to look out for. I'll just quickly change the speakers around. And we'll go on about the DeFi space. So Cardano, it's just tumbling due to markets, and there's a lot going on, huge FUD storm right now. But ultimately, one thing that I really want to stress is this is an uptrending market, guys. You can see your lower low, your low, higher high, higher low, and it's just continuation within this trend, and you're still within that trend. You're yet to put in a lower low, invalidating this entire Elliott wave theory structure. Things are going to take a little bit longer to get to where we expect them to get to. Still very confident that some of the price predictions that we have put out for Cardano are going to get reached. It's just going to take a little bit more time. And if you want some kind of an idea of how potentially this cycle may end or how it may look, go and watch the earlier video that we released. So very quickly, let's play this. And this is really, he made this video kind of in the wake of the fact that we just see so much 10 billion in DeFi scams and theft just in 2021 alone. This is of course going to be applicable to Cardano. The thing is with Cardano's DeFi ecosystem is I'm very happy that it will dominate in certain aspects, or very confident it's going to dominate in certain aspects, because they've taken the time to do things properly, whereas a lot of people have rushed to market. Avalanche saw a 30 million rug pull on top of their platform. So these are things to watch out for. This is coming from the horse's mouth, and Charles saying, look, this is going to happen. Very quickly before we play the clip, remember we do have the all-in stake pool. We are minting blocks. We minted one today. We minted one a couple of days ago. So we mint pretty much every epoch now. So if you guys want to come and stake with us, it would be much appreciated. The ticker is all-in. You can do that through Yoroi and Deadless. And of course, sub to me on Twitter if you're not already for some more timely updates. So let's play this clip, guys. And then we'll wrap the video up, and I'll leave you to your Sundays.
So as dApps come online with Cardano, if the dApp is not designed properly, it's not set up for concurrency because they did stupid things in its design, there's a security flaw or an issue, there will be a very strong attempt from those very dishonest people in crypto media to then extrapolate that Cardano is a failed experiment and then the entire ecosystem is pointless and meaningless, and they will push that message as aggressively as possible. That's just the situation we're in. I don't know where the malice comes from or where the hatred comes from for doing things the right way. I guess it has exposed a deep insecurity in these projects and these people, and they're terrified that our success will mean that they'll be held to the same standards we've held ourselves, in which case they cannot beat us. So we must fail in order for them to continue as business as usual and accept $10.5 billion of waste, fraud, and abuse in the industry on an annual basis, mostly hurting the most vulnerable of us.
I hate to interrupt that, but very quickly, this is one reason, and we've said this on a number of occasions. We looked at it yesterday in regards to some of the rumors that were going around in regards to Cardano. We're a threat, ladies and gentlemen, to these other protocols, and that's why we're seeing so much shade thrown our way. And I've got a lot of things that I don't really go into on the channel because they're somewhat theories. There is some evidence, but it's not clear evidence to the point where I can go, look, we got delisted due to an association with this guy who has another invested interest that is against Cardano, etc., etc. But this is one reason we see so much hatred thrown at ADA, is because it's a real threat. If it wasn't, the hatred wouldn't be there, guys. So let's continue, and I'll wrap the video up.
That is not acceptable. So if we as a community are going to get through this, what we need to do is we need to stand together and be clever and smart and recognize there are great tools, and recognize there was a lot of deliberate decision-making that went into the construction of Cardano to give people the opportunity to build things correctly. Thus, be skeptical. Regardless of what the application is, always ask who's behind it, who audited it, who holds them accountable, what level of testing have they put into these things, was there independent firms that came in and verified the claims that they made, and do not risk the farm. Every single application, treat it with a degree of skepticism and let time be your guide, as well as independent verification, validation. Hold people accountable. What level of transparency do they have? Is the team public? Does the team talk to you on a regular basis? Where do they come from? What's their track record? These basic facts and circumstances that we have. And if you do these things, we will have a significantly stronger ecosystem. And also, if people don't get certified, their software verified and validated, the ones that fail almost always will come from the set of unverified, uncertified software. And as a consequence of that failure, what we can do as an ecosystem is tell the media every time they make a big deal out of something that fails, that it came from a group of people that didn't do the thing the right way, as opposed to it's a failing of Cardano. It's not. So I just wanted to make this video as a warning and an opportunity. We can be better. We can do things better. And I don't believe anybody in their right mind wants to put their life savings, their hard-earned money at risk on a gamble. And that's what's happening in DeFi right now. People chasing massive returns are putting money into infrastructure that's fundamentally unsound and unaccountable. And when it blows up, the creators of the infrastructure, they get the money and the users get the bill.
We'll leave it there. I'm sure you get the message that I'm trying to deliver and really re-emphasize here. He's absolutely right. And as somebody like myself, the projects, by the way, guys, that I push forwards and put on this video or on this channel and make videos about, I know there's a degree of security there in relation to the fact that, I've checked the team out and done my due diligence. But you should never take my word for anything. You should always do your own. And it's up to the Cardano community members like myself and others out there to absolutely make sure that we highlight the good guys from the bad guys and that we speak out and we watch each other's backs. There's something far, far greater going on with crypto here. And it's really, in my opinion, why I don't hate on other cryptocurrencies, even though I could potentially have a lot to say, is because I think we're all in this together and I think we need to start looking out for one another. And that's really one of the main points that I wanted to reiterate. These projects are new. Always check that they've been audited, the code's been audited, and who it's been audited by. And the fact that just because something's been audited, it might have been audited by a very uncreditable company that has very bad reviews. You need to do your due diligence before investing, not just throw your money on. If you do that, your success rate is going to increase as an investor. So that's really all I have for you. Remember, watch these kind of anti-fiat markets, if you will. And these are correlated. There's lots going on in the world right now, whether that be people, the kind of central banks around the world looking at stablecoins as a serious threat or whatever it may be. Alternative factors are affecting our markets. That's actually why I happen to believe that we may potentially see a lengthening cycle with some turns and twists. We've already seen turns and twists so far, like this pullback being a real result of the inflationary event that took place in March 2020 and how just inflated Bitcoin and everything got due to the fact that there was money thrown into it as a hedge. So that's really all I have for you in the video, guys. This is something I'm exceptionally excited about, and I think you guys should be too. I think it's going to be a huge catalyst for the price being driven up. Hang in there, ladies and gentlemen. Tomorrow we're going to get a clear direction on the way the market is going. We've still yet to come down to here. We are finding, and we did say this to you, that this is going to act as support. This round about this region here, just because we've seen it do so previously, and also we've got your 0.786 there. Now, what could potentially happen if we do spill is we spill before popping back up. It's not too uncommon that you actually will pop a toe below this before. If you see a wick getting eaten up, that could be a good indication. But ultimately, Cardano is hostage by Bitcoin right now. And Bitcoin is hostage by the kind of global financial markets, which is why I'm telling you guys you need to keep an eye on this. I'm going to love and leave you on that note. If you've enjoyed the content, a like is always appreciated. So is a comment. I hope you've all had an amazing Sunday, and I'll catch you all in the next YouTube video. Thank you very much for watching, guys.